Hey, what's going on, everybody? Cam Rogers coming at you for NFL Daily. All right, guys, it has been a crazy NFL offseason so far, and the new league year hasn't even begun. We have all of these trades to get through, but these aren't even official yet because March 14th hasn't happened. Once that happens, then, of course, all these trades can become official. I'm going to go trade by trade, breaking down all of the terms and kind of recapping all of these trades as well, telling you who actually won them. Let's start things off with the blockbuster deal. Alex Smith heading to the Washington Redskins. The Kansas City Chiefs grabbing Kendall Fuller, a very fantastic cornerback, as well as a 2018 third-round pick. So obviously this move meant goodbye Kirk Cousins. We're not going to give you the franchise tag again. We're bringing in Alex Smith. And Alex Smith, look, is a quality quarterback, but is he the quarterback of Washington's future? I'm going to have to say hard no on that one, but maybe Alex Smith can be a guy for the next 2 to 3 years, hold that spot while Washington kind of looks for their franchise quarterback, because I'll tell you, Colt McCoy is not that guy either. I will say this. Watch out for the Redskins maybe trying to make a out-of-nowhere move in the NFL draft, trading up and trying to grab Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold, or perhaps the Redskins are saving their quarterback plans for 2019 to 2020. But something to monitor with Washington there as we head towards the draft. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they bring in Kendall Fuller, who is really one of the better cornerbacks out there, so really a fantastic pickup for the Chiefs. But the Chiefs bring in Kendall Fuller. They also, well, let go of another cornerback, and so it was kind of like an addition and then a subtraction type of situation. So the Rams, they acquired Lamarcus Joyner from the Kansas City Chiefs along with a 2018 6th-round pick. The Chiefs got a 2018 4th-round pick and a 2019 2nd-round pick. And an interesting move because, well, Lamarcus Joyner has 21 interceptions since 2015, including the playoffs. That's 7 more than the next closest player. So it's safe to say the Rams got a playmaker. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs, you're left scratching your head a little bit in terms of why they made this deal. But the story goes like this. Apparently, Lamarcus Joyner was not getting along well with folks in the locker room and the coaching staff, etc. There was somewhat of a mentality issue and an attitude issue that was going on with Lamarcus Joyner. And as such, the Chiefs were ready to move on, and with Kendall Fuller coming to town now, they saw Lamarcus Joyner as expendable. And oh, by the way, defensive coordinator out there in LA with the Rams, Wade Phillips, he knows how to deal with personalities. He's done it before with Aqib Talib, who, by the way, is going to LA too. We'll talk about that later. But I don't see any problem for Lamarcus Joyner heading on over to the Rams. I think he'll do a really good job. And the Rams have been really active in terms of trades. Here is another one involving the Miami Dolphins. So the Dolphins get Robert Quinn in a 2018 6th-round pick. Meanwhile, the Rams get a 2018 4th-round pick and a 6th-round pick from that same year as well. So the Dolphins, they acquire a 2-time Pro Bowler and a pretty quality pass rusher. Quinn has 2 years left on his contract, which pays out roughly $24 million. And he recorded 8.5 sacks and 32.5 tackles last season. So really quality year for Quinn. And you look at the Dolphins in terms of their sacks rankings, 26th in the league last year in terms of sacks. So they need help in terms of pass rushing ability. And meanwhile, the Rams get a 4th-round pick after trading one away to the Chiefs in the trade that I talked about previously. So there are the LA Rams and the Miami Dolphins. I think it's an interesting move at that. And the Rams, Les Snead, the general manager out there, he's not holding back. He's going wild with his moves. All right, let's check in with the Eagles and the Seahawks. This trade went down pretty recently. Michael Bennett heading to Philadelphia along with a 2018 7th-round pick. The Seahawks and their defensive turnover continue. They get Marcus Johnson and a 2018 fifth-round pick, and I think this is pretty amazing. The Eagles' front line is going to be quite scary. We're talking about Timmy Jernigan, Fletcher Cox, Michael Bennett, and Derek Barnett. Vinny Curry likely on his way out. So that is a very scary front four. And reports were suggesting that Seattle was trying to, quote, quiet the locker room a little bit by way of dealing Michael Bennett. They didn't really like the outspoken nature, I guess. And look, there's a new defensive coordinator out there in Seattle, and Ken Norton Jr. Maybe he is the lead influencer in all of these changes because, of course, Richard Sherman has been cut, Jeremy Lane has been cut. So a lot of movement, a lot of turnover going on in the Pacific Northwest. All right, back to the Rams being active in their trades. Talk about Alec Ogletree heading on over to the New York Giants. Yes, the Giants actually made an effort to improve their linebacking core. Can you believe it? So Ogletree is a speedy linebacker, compiled 231 tackles and 2 sacks the past 2 seasons in L.A. What's odd about this move is the Rams signed Ogletree to a 4-year, $42 million contract extension literally in October. And they're saying, see you later, we're trading you away. So trading Ogletree actually saves the Rams $5.2 million in cap space and recovers $10 million from Ogletree's 2018 salary. Perhaps a move by the Rams to create some space here in hopes of bringing back wide receiver Sammy Watkins. But we're getting close to the new league year, and no deal is in sight. So the Rams obviously wanted to make their priority Lamarcus Joyner. Jermaine Johnson, likely to walk into free agency, but they're trying to bring back Sammy Watkins at the wide receiver position. So the Giants, they bolster their linebacking core a little bit there. All right, back to the secondary we go. Aqib Talib is on the move, and it's not to New England. It's to the L.A. Rams. Go figure. So the Denver Broncos get a 5th-round pick in exchange for that trade, and Aqib Talib will be reuniting with defensive coordinator Wade Phillips out there in Hollywood. And look, Wade Phillips is a fantastic defensive mind. And can we just salivate over the secondary that the Rams are going to be sporting in 2018? John Johnson at safety, Lamarcus Joyner back there as well, Marcus Peters, and now Aqib Talib. Talking about some fantastic players back there. And oh, by the way, there's Aaron Donald on that front line too. And then, of course, the breaking news, Torrey Smith on his way to Carolina. Philadelphia gets cornerback Daryl Worley in exchange. And the story goes that the Eagles were looking to cut Torrey Smith to begin with, $5 million cap hit. The Eagles are not in a great salary cap situation. They decide to trade Torrey instead. They still save $4.3 million, so they get some good amount of savings there, as well as cornerback depth. And why is that important? Well, one of the fantastic corners out there, Patrick Robinson, is an impending free agent. So looks like this deal kind of indicates to me that Patrick Robinson is headed elsewhere because Philadelphia is looking for some insurance in the secondary. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they don't really scare you with their wide receiver core. Devin Funchess, Damiere Byrd, Russell Shepard. These guys aren't headliner type of names. But Torrey Smith will certainly help things in terms of Cam Newton throwing the football down the field. Torrey can really blow the top off the coverage. And Devin Funchess can do a little bit of that too. He's a physical receiver though. Daryl Worley for Philadelphia, not the greatest season in 2017, the 89th ranked cornerback according to Pro Football Focus, but again, he's depth behind Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills. So that was the breaking news with Philadelphia and Carolina. I am Cam Rogers. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. I'll see you next time.